Hey guys, it's Kat. Back for more my Target story. I don't have anything specific that I want to talk about. I just took a couple notes here just to tell you about a few things. I am going to go through the Zerza song with you, but I want to have my laptop set up so that I can go through it with you while I'm on here. So maybe I'll do that later. So I can just tell you a few more little bits and pieces of things that I've gone through this organization, besides just damage and theft. They do have mind control technology. It's very effective if you're not aware of it. I'm aware of it now, so it won't work on me any longer. But when you're not aware of it, it's very, very effective. They mind controlled me one time to bag up all my clothes in black garbage bags and throw them in the dumpster at the apartment where I was living. And I did it. The whole time I was living at that apartment, I believe that that's when my true experimentation started. There are so many things that started from that apartment. I've already told you a couple, but I know I told you that vision that I saw through the picture window of my family. I constantly felt like I was being watched. Constantly. And even though I had wood blinds in the whole place, and they were always down at night, but I always felt like I was being watched. So my first hospitalization visit, okay? I had been screwed with by these people for quite a while before this even happened. I didn't know what the heck was going on. I knew I was being screwed with, but I didn't know why, how, what, where, who. It felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone. Like, am I on the right planet? I mean, the birds were talking to me, okay? And yes, I know that schizophrenic people can hear birds talking to them. But they were doing that, and they were doing the voice to skull technology on me. They were testing out skills of mine with like light shows on my wall. They made me walk around like I had multiple sclerosis for about 2 days. There was nothing I could do about it. I could not walk normal even if I wanted to, if my life depended on it. They had total control over the way I was walking. It's true. And one morning, I had been up all night, and because they messed with me all night, making me believe I was going to be executed that night. So I didn't sleep a wink that night. So I'm walking around shaking like I have multiple sclerosis and I can't really walk normal. And I put on my bathing suit and I decide to walk down to the beach near me. And I walked down to the beach, which was a good mile and a half away. And I'm walking like this all the way to the beach. So cars can see me walking like this. Okay. Now I still don't know what gang stalking is. I don't know what any of this is. I just knew that something was up. And as I'm walking, the birds are cheering me on. You can do it. Just stand up straight. Blah, blah. I have a great posture. It was just Alice in Wonderland bullshit. Okay, so I get down to the beach and I'm just sitting in the sand, watching the water, just not even believing any of this freaking crap is even happening. And, you know, shit like that went on for a while. Little experiments and stuff that they would do to me. And they started stealing from me at that apartment down in my storage in the basement. And just a whole bunch of crap. So I had been on another medication at that time too. The same medication I'm on now, which is clonazepam for anxiety, which I was put on because of the bugs of 2010 situation that they could not figure out. So that was another narcotic type substance, controlled substance. And the girl that lived upstairs had stolen some of my pills. So they won't refill your medication until it's ready when it's a controlled substance. They won't refill it early. So I started withdrawing from that. And I didn't sleep for 6 whole days. And I was just laying on the bed yelling and screaming and kicking my legs and my feet and angry as hell that I'm going through this hell of withdrawal because of someone else. And after the 6th day of not sleeping, I drove myself to the doctor's office and begged her to give me a pill. And they wouldn't. And I had to wait, like, I can't remember how many days after for them to fill my script. But, so that was all occurring. And I was starting to have certain memories of certain things in my life. And I was acting really weird, and I was going through all the withdrawal symptoms, you know, manic. And I was texting people, family members, and I was off the wall because I was withdrawing from medication. And when you're withdrawing from medication, you honestly act like a heroin addict. I mean, that's how you act. So a rumor got started by a family member of mine that I was either a crack addict or a heroin addict, and I was on drugs. And another family member of mine went into one of my friend's places of employment to ask her what kind of drugs I was on. I'm a pothead, people. I've been a pothead since age 16. That's the only, I don't even consider that a drug. It's a plant that God made, and it's never killed anybody. Marijuana has never killed a single person, and you can't get addicted to it. So, I don't want to hear shit about it. It's the only thing I do. It's not the only thing I've done in my life, but it's the only thing I do. And I've never done crack, I've never done heroin, and I've never done meth, and I've never done ecstasy, and I never would do any of those hard drugs, ever. I have done acid in high school. I have done cocaine. I have done mushrooms. That's it. And I have nothing to hide. So, a rumor's going around that I'm on drugs because I'm acting all whacked out. Okay? And that just made the situation even worse. And then I was served with a restraining order from a family member. Against people that I was very close to. And just on top of the withdrawal and the rumors that I was a drug addict and all the horrible withdrawal symptoms I was going through. You know, my heart was broken because I wasn't allowed to see these people anymore. A week later, my cat died. I believe that she was murdered. There was nothing wrong with her. She was not sick prior to dying. One day she just didn't feel good and she died. The day before that, she was playing like a kitten. I believe she was poisoned. She was the love of my life. I was devastated, and that's the only time in my life that I truly tried to commit suicide. I naturally have low blood pressure. I always have. They won't even allow me to donate blood because they said that I'll pass out. So, I tried overdosing on blood pressure medication, hoping that it would stop my heart or give me a heart attack or whatever. And then a half hour, 45 minutes went by. I took the whole bottle and nothing happened. So then I started getting nervous. Like, what happens if I'm a paraplegic or whatever and I don't die? So I called my friend and he picked me up and brought me to the hospital. And they found the suicide note in my pill bottle saying, if I live, pull the plug, and if I die, close the casket, or something like that. So then the next thing I knew, I had like 10 people on top of me giving me a shot, and I'm passed out and hospitalized for 3 days. And now that's the only time from all these hospitalizations that I've talked about that I was truly suicidal. But they've used suicide to hospitalize me the other 6. Because they really don't have a reason to hospitalize me. Unless I act out and do something, which I have done a couple times. But I'll get to that. But suicide is used a lot. And I'll never commit suicide. So they want to keep coming in and fucking with my new mascara I just bought yesterday. Making me have to buy a new tube every week. Or screw with my eyeshadow. Or my nail products. Or whatever. You know, do what you gotta fucking do. Seriously. Okay? I know your games. You don't want me to get ahead financially. I get it. I get it. Bothers you that I'm happy with being surrounded by things that I bought at Goodwill and at garage sales, huh? Bothers you that I'm still happy. Screw yourself. Whatever. And that was the only hospital visit that seemed normal out of all of them. And it was St. Mary's. But they did do their street theater in that hospital as well. That's when it all started. There's a fight that broke out in the hallway near my door and then ended up in my room. And it was the tall black guy with the dreadlocks. So it's not always the same tall black guy with dreadlocks. It's a different tall black guy with dreadlocks every time. But that's what his job is, to stumble around into people's rooms. It's all scripted, all of it. So they let me go after 3 days. So I went home. I was devastated that I had lost my family members and my cat. And I really did want to die at that time. I didn't know what the fuck was happening to me at all. None of it made sense. But, and then I ended up having, you know, that vision and all that other shit happened, and I got hospitalized again, as I told you about before. A couple of my friends thought that the neighbor was poisoning me with bath salts because of the way I was acting. Because they knew me better than that. They knew I wasn't on any hard drugs or anything like that. They knew me better than that. So, I mean, intervention people were even sent to my house by a family member. The same family member that started the rumor that I was on drugs. The same family member that I am pretty sure is my handler. So I lived there for about 3 years. But, they did a lot of mind control experiments on me in that apartment. One day, I was just laying there reading my Bible, and I was reading the book of Revelation. I think it was chapter 4. And I was told to get completely naked and walk out my door and walk up the stairs to the apartment above me. And I did. And then once I got up there, there was a window. And out the window, the book of Revelation, chapter 4, was playing out in front of my face. Like the 24 elders sitting around the throne with the rainbow and them. And then the neighbor that my friends thought was drugging me with bath salts called the police, and I was hospitalized. And then there was a rumor going around that I was running around my apartment complex naked, which wasn't true at all. I never left the apartment itself. I just walked up 3 stairs to the floor above me, and I was only up there for maybe a minute. So that was definitely a setup. And that guy was definitely a gang stalker. He might have been the one that killed my cat. Because after that, I started hanging out with him for security. And he really liked that. So, that's when I lost touch with my family members. I was very angry at the drug rumor that was going around because I figured my family would know me better than that. I don't even drink liquor. So and this was back in 2012, you know, so a lot of time has gone by. There's a lot of things I could tell you about that apartment. They were definitely using the apartment above me for this harassment and the mind control and other things. I could tell that they were using the apartment upstairs. Never saw anybody living there, but always heard shit up there. Including the voices of people that I knew. Because they want you to believe that people that you know are in on it so that you'll think it's a big conspiracy and not be friends with them anymore or be suspicious of them or divide and conquer. It's the oldest trick in the book. I don't know. It's a shame. And then another thing that happened in the hospital when I was in there, remember I told you I had 7 kittens at the time, and in the room next to me there was a lady singing up a homemade song about my cats and how they're being tortured right now, each one of them, describing what they look like and what they're doing to them. It was just awful. The things that these people do is it's evil. Evil, shitty shit. They were fear-mongering me in the hospital with this bed that has, like, the beds that have the straps to hold you down. One time when I was there, they had a woman screaming from that room like she was getting gang raped or something. And then so they wanted me to believe that that was the gang rape room. And then one time they actually brought me in that room and I didn't know what to expect next. They were trying to scare me. Like, you know, that could happen to you too. I don't know, I think that's pretty much it for tonight. I'll pull up my laptop in the next video and we'll go through the Zertsetzung Nazi program and compare it with this. And we'll see what you think, because I think you'll find a lot of similarities with the two. They were definitely in here last night because they put cat litter, sprinkled cat litter all over every floor in the house. So I had fun vacuuming today. They're still coming in and thinning my hair and cutting it. At one point they were putting stuff in my shampoo and conditioner and my hair was just coming out in clumps in my comb, forcing me to throw it all away and buy new stuff. It's never ending. I know what an ant in a jar feels like now. Well, I'm in my pajamas, as you can see. I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night, and I may or may not do my nails. So they could be on for 2 days before they start popping up. It's kind of funny, in a way, ironically funny, because they want the world to believe that you're a loser. They want to embarrass you in public. They want to spread rumors about you. They want to portray you to the world to be somebody that you're not. So it's very important that you act like yourself and don't prove these people right. Okay? The truth always comes out in the end. And if you're not acting the way these people are saying that you are, they'll know that person's lying eventually, right? I mean, that's just common sense. So don't ever get violent with anyone. Let them be the assholes. Be your good-natured self. And pray. Pray. I'll see you later or tomorrow, but probably tomorrow, because what time is it? Still haven't changed that damn clock. It's only 7. Maybe I'll pull up my laptop later and we'll go through the Zerza song if I can't sleep. But that's all I can think about talking about right now. I'm just going to keep taking notes of little things I can tell you about. I still have a shitload of shit to tell you. So, hang in there, and try to send me some videos that you think are relevant for the Facebook page, My Target Story, and I'll upload them for you. Alright. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you again very soon.